and I'd like to say thank you and welcome to our annual picnic. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves today. We are here this afternoon to celebrate several things. One of the biggest being, I can honestly say, the weather this morning. Because when I woke up and saw how bad it was, I was quite concerned. We've never had a rain out, and our streak continues, which is absolutely outstanding. This year, the Society is celebrating the 100th anniversary of Grosse Township. In October of this year, the township will be 100 years old. It's separated from Montwagon Township. Brian Loftus in a moment will speak a little bit more about that. But in the museum, if you haven't been in the museum, I would like to recommend that you go in. We put up a temporary display that tells you a little bit about the history of the Society and highlights decade by decade some of those important and exciting things that have happened on the island. If you don't know, this is a great place to live, and we have an absolutely outstanding history. So that history is highlighted in the museum. Please take your time and take a look at that. I need to thank several people for that exhibit. Claire Kester, Joanne Grunland, Joan Strickler, Elspeth Kerr, and Roberta Hall. They all worked very hard on that display, putting it together, and it looks absolutely outstanding. Two other things have been happening in the museum. If you are like many people on Grosse who visited the museum when you were in the 4th grade, and you come back when you were an adult, previously you could have said, my, it hasn't changed at all. Well, it now has. We have recently finished restoring or renovating 2 rooms. We have the old school room, which is the small room on the south side of the museum, which used to be an old, I guess at one point it was the jail when the township was here. That is now our new research school room. So if you ever need to do any research, you're welcome to come in on a Sunday. We have lots of reference books, old yearbooks. You're welcome to come in there, take a look, and do additional research. Eventually, we are hoping to also have a computer in there so you can look at some of our archival information. We have also just recently renovated our gift shop. You may say, well, that's not really important to a museum, but it is, because it is one of the biggest ways we fundraise here. So all the stuff from the gift shop is currently out on the back lawn. I highly recommend that you stop and take a look. One of the things that is there is our new anniversary t-shirt, which has the decades on the back. So it's inexpensive, and you can proudly show your Grosse history. Additionally, I need to introduce 2 people and just have them stand for a moment. We have recently installed several signs here on the property of the museum, and at the Toll Bridge and the Free Bridge. These signs are a joint effort between us and the National Heritage Society and the National Parks Service. If you go online and you search Motor City signs, you can look at a map that will have all of the National Heritage signs on them. We are a member of that group. We have placed 6 signs here at the museum, and they all talk about Grosse's connection to automotive history. Please take a moment when you have a chance to look at the beach signs. But if I could have Joyce Turin and Eric Turin and Michael just stand there right over here. I would like to recognize them. Joyce's husband, Dr. Dimitri Turin, passed away last year or 2 years ago? 2 years ago. Just is hard. It goes by too quickly. And part of that, they had any memorial gifts in remembrance come to the Historical Society in his name. And as part of that, those donations and those memorials help place and purchase the signs that you see here. So if we could give them a nice thank you and a round of applause, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Finally, I need to recognize several other people. We have several past supervisors, one past supervisor and a representative from the supervisor's family. Dallas Kelsey is here this afternoon. He asked if you would need to stand up, Dallas. You can't just sit there and keep eating. Dallas is a past supervisor, township supervisor. And then we also have Dr. Bob Solomon and his son Bob Solomon here. Dr. Bob Solomon is the husband of the late Meryl Solomon, and Bob is her son. Meryl was our only female supervisor, and a wonderful one. And with that, I am going to introduce Brian Loftus. Well, actually, I don't think he needs any introduction. He is going to be speaking about the history of the 100 years of the township.
Thanks, Tammy. Dr. Solomon, welcome back. And I'm the 17th supervisor of Grosse Township. Merle was number 10 or so, not that long ago. Okay, so we're talking about 100 years of Grosse Township. I'm going to make this easy by going back 100 years before that and talk about why does Michigan have townships? How did Grosse Township evolve from this political delineation? The townships in the United States, there's 20 states that have townships, which means, of course, 30 don't. But it was part of the Northwest Territories Act. It was a tradition that came over from England. So your southern states, with their more Spanish and sometimes French heritage, will not have townships. But the Northwest Territories states do. And it was an attempt to keep local government as local as possible. With a township, a survey township, as opposed to a political township, although most of Michigan they're the same, is a 6x6 square, which means that as a resident of a township, you could always make it into your township hall to vote, either in a reasonable walk, hitch a horse to a buggy, or whatever. If you were in Wyoming, your county seat could be 60 miles away, but in Michigan, you're probably 2 or 3 miles from your township hall. You can get in and vote. You could come in and complain about your taxes. You can pay your taxes. So it keeps government local, and it's one of the beauties of the states that have townships. So the Northwest Territories Act of 1790 was the basis for Governor Lewis Cass in 1818 to declare, I think he started with 13 townships in the Michigan Territory, 9 of which were in Wayne County. Mungwagon Township was one of those. And then again in 1827, the legislature gave authority to establish a few more within Wayne County. It also changed the titular head from the township commissioner to the township supervisor. And then counties were run by a board of supervisors. All the township supervisors met at the county to run the county. That has become a board of commissioners, and they're all elected from various districts as more cities were formed out of townships. Mungwagon Township, reportedly named after Chief Mungwagon, a Potawatomi chief of the mid-18th century. The English settlers and French settlers named Mungwagon Creek, which runs over in the Trenton area, after him, and then Mungwagon Township picked up that name. Again, one of the first townships in the Michigan Territories. It consisted of what is now Riverview, Trenton, and Grosse. And now I've got to get some more precise information, because this is easy for you to check up on to see if I was giving you the straight stuff. 35 residents of the island, headed by a W.S. Blauvelt. Okay, we all know Blauvelt Road. Filed a petition with the county clerk on September 11th, that date keeps coming up again, 1914, saying that all Mungwagon Township, east of the center thread of the Detroit River of the Western American Channel, including Calf Island, should be known as the Township of Grosse. And it got passed by the County Board of Commissioners. They took up on October 12th and ordered the erection and organization of the township. The first public meeting was held in the Central School, former 1911 building, was the first township hall, or held township hall functions. And Grosse was a separate township. And let's see, they give the names of some people, and again, they were commissioners. Since 1847, they assigned the various positions, supervisor, treasurer, clerk, and depending on the number, how many trustees it's going to have. But that's a quick bit of our history, our separation from Mungwagon Township. Remember, until, the rail bridge, your only access over here was by ferry. Earlier that year in 1914, the township had its own police department. We couldn't count on the village of Trenton supporting us. We had our own school system. We built our first masonry school in 1911. And at that time it was obvious we were a separate entity. We became our own township. And the magic date is October 12th. It's coming up quickly. So we're looking forward to a Centennial celebration. We hope to see you all there. Leaving many stones unturned, that's research is for you to do.
There is more information in the museum on some of our display books too that discuss about the reasons why we became a township. Now, the other thing we're celebrating today is on September 14th, the Star Spangled Banner will be celebrating its 200th year. We thought that it would be wrong if we, being a historical society, if we didn't participate in that celebration. So I contacted one of our high school seniors, she's now a graduate, who is very actively involved in the drama department at the school, and asked her to write and direct a play for us that talked about the history of the Star Spangled Banner. So without further ado, I will give you Renee Scavone, and I'm going to call you the Star Spangled Banner players.
All right. The year is 1814. General George Armistead and Commodore Joshua Barney are discussing the upcoming Battle of Baltimore in the War of 1812.
All right, Commodore Barney, I have a task for you.
Anything, Major Armistead.
The city of Baltimore is in trouble, Barney. Fort McHenry is in trouble.
I know, Major. The citizens have been whispering of an expected attack by the British, and our men are making the best preparations they can to fend off their troops.
We'll need to fend off their ships as well. The War of 1812 is shaping up to be a second revolution. And if we let the British take back even an inch of American soil, our founding fathers' work will be for naught.
Of course, Major. General Stryker and I have been talking about logistics every day. We've got a tax planned and
It takes more than attacks and logistics to win a war, Commodore. What we need is something to rally the people, something to get them to remember what we're fighting for.
a symbol of liberty.
Exactly. What we need is a flag.
A flag?
It will fly over the harbor so that not only the British may see it, but the Americans as well.
I know just the woman we can contact. Mary Young Pickersgill lives in the city. She's a widowed flag maker who would be more than willing to help the cause.
Perfect. We'll need two flags, a storm flag for foul weather and a great garrison flag. I want that flag to be the biggest flag ever flown by any country. It should be a flag so large that the British will have no trouble seeing it from afar.
Of course, Major. I will contact Pickersgill immediately. This Star-Spangled Banner shall wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave, America.
And so Mary Young Pickersgill got immediately to work on our Star-Spangled Banner. Helping her were her niece Eliza and her daughter Caroline. Now the flag is almost finished.
All right, ladies. Here you have the product of cotton English wool.
And dye. And thread. And plenty of hard work.
Thank goodness the malt house allowed us to use their floor. The thing is the size of our house.
And it's absolutely beautiful. I can't wait till it waves in the harbor.
To think, Aunt Mary, that we carefully measured each stripe. You carefully put down each star. It is incredible.
15 stars and 15 stripes, one for each state. It is so powerful to see them united on this stage.
It makes every evening spent working past midnight worth it.
Come now, let us get the men to lift it. It must weigh 50 pounds.
I hope it will spur our soldiers to action.
These 6 weeks have certainly encouraged my patriotism.
You know, Major Armistead said only we who made it shall mend it.
Do you think we'll need to?
Certainly fear that that will be the case. Tell the men to secure it in the most secure manner. Even if it is to be racked by cannons which will remain there for the night of battle.
To be hailed and celebrated when we are victorious. Meanwhile, Francis Scott Key and John Stuart Skinner have been ordered by President Madison to discuss the liberation of American prisoners of war with General Major Robert Ross of the British Army.
General Ross, on behalf of President James Madison, I request the immediate release of Dr. William Bean and all other American soldiers from British hands.
I should think not, Mr. Key. There's war raging in this country and in the waters of this very ship. And it would certainly do me no good to release a man accused of the aid of the arrest of British soldiers.
Accused, but not charged, please. Dr. Beans is a good man.
Even your men say this is fact.
Oh, really? And who are you, might I ask, as you seem to know oh so much about the minds of my soldiers?
John Stuart Skinner, sir. Lawyer and President Madison's prisoner of war exchange officer. Here, read these letters.
They're from British soldiers praising Beans and his fellow Americans.
They've been giving your men medical attention. Do they not deserve to be free?
I suppose you do have a point. Very well. I will grant your doctor and his contemporaries their freedom.
As all Americans shall soon have. They call this War of 1812 the Second War of Independence.
And we shall exceed end of independence.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. We'll just be going now. Thank you for your kindness, sir.
Unfortunately, gentlemen, I cannot let you leave. There's a battle underfoot.
You cannot hold us captive.
You have no choice. We are moving you to a separate ship where you can witness British victory from afar.
Oh!
This fight could last all night.
The next morning, the battle has been won.
Can you see it? Have we won?
Nothing yet. Look for the shore. The victor's flag will surely be there.
I see it! I see our flag, awash in the dawn's early light.
Oh, the beauty of it. Those broad stripes. Those bright stars. It has survived the perilous fight.
As all Americans shall survive in this war and any that may come.
Judge Joseph H. Nicholson responds to a letter written by Key after the Battle of Baltimore is passed.
Dear Francis, I am writing to you, dear brother-in-law, on the heels of an American success in the battle against Britain. It seems as though the American success in Baltimore at Fort McHenry has greatly encouraged our troops. They say that the new year shall bring a final, lasting American victory in New Orleans, and I hope that they are right. Also, Francis, I have received your lovely poem. Truly, it makes me feel impassioned and patriotic. And the events of the battle you wrote about are incredible. But I was just sort of thinking, Francis, you know what would be absolutely a success? A song. Think about it. Your words put to a melody, a battle cry for our young republic. Now all I need is a tune. Oh, say, can you see of the deliverance of me I make? Well, that's not right. Oh, say, can you see? No, leave that for some other country. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so fondly we hailed? That could totally work. That's perfect.
In the present day, a group of museum workers discuss the Star-Spangled Banner in its current home, the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C.
There it is, the Star-Spangled Banner.
Wow.
Pretty neat, right? That's the flag they wrote the song about.
There are definitely perks to working at the Smithsonian.
Hey, hands off, or you won't get any more of those perks.
Sorry, it's just kind of mesmerizing. Also, kind of messed up.
What do you mean messed up?
Well, there's all these tears.
Well, pieces were torn out. After it was taken down, it was given to Major Armistead's family, and then his daughter and grandson would give people little snippets to serve as mementos.
We spent a lot of time trying to track those down. It's still over 200 feet smaller than the original. Turns out pieces go for a lot of money at auctions, like thousands of dollars.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, how many times have you heard someone sing that our flag was still there? People get pretty emotional about this stuff. Well, I do.
Hey, hands off.
Hey, want to know my favorite missing piece?
What?
The missing 15th star.
Definitely, no one knows where it's at.
What? Why not?
Well, they say that it was given to some official person, but there's never been a name mentioned or anything.
It's out there somewhere. That 15th star is floating around some unknown location in the United States. Hopefully, whoever has it tells their kids about where it came from.
Major Armistead's family?
Technically, but really, it came from a few hardworking women.
And the love that we wanted to show for our country.
Well, do you think we'll ever recover it?
Maybe. I mean, I guess I'm just happy knowing that we had what we had with it, you know?
And that sometime in the past, it waved on a victory, gallantly streaming.
You can just see it now.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. If you all could just stay there for a moment, I'm just going to introduce you individually. If you can just sort of raise your hand when I announce your name. Renee Scavone, who wrote it and directed it. Riley Barnsdale. Emma Rosvinsky. Mary Ellis. Elizabeth Callahan. Grace Fusani. Bailey Schaefer. Max McGrath. Garrett Rose, Megan, I don't want to butcher your last name, Sabula, thank you, Sarah Dance, and Emily Tyberski. So thank you. If you can just stay there, I just have two other quick announcements, and then if we all could, at the very end, stand and sing the Star Spangled Banner, I think that would be very appropriate. I was neglected in thanking three people with the help on the signs, the wayfinding signs, and that's Claire Kester, Sarah Lawrence, and Roberta Hall. They all worked very, very hard selecting photographs and writing the copy for the signs. And finally, I would like to thank the events committee who put on this event this afternoon. It's a great group that works very hard together to do the events for the society. And when I call your name, if you can just sort of wave your hand. I think some are still working over there. Wayne Sacalo. Wave, Wayne. Thank you, Wayne. Mark Lafayette. Behind us, Chad Novak, Ann Loftus, Bob Scavone, and Dallas Kelsey. Very quickly, we have three upcoming events, actually four. On September 14th, we have the Lighthouse Tour. We're doing the boat tour again this year. We're actually going to go further north this year and show everybody where Mama Judah is and do a loop and show them where the South Channel Light was. Tickets are on sale if you are interested in those. On October 11th, the Township and the Historical Society will be celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Township on Macomb Street. There will be several events all day long up and down Macomb Street. And then the day after Thanksgiving, we will once again be opening our holiday gift boutique. I believe the month of October, we will also be doing an art exhibit in conjunction with the Art Alliance, and it will be photography this year. It will be photographs of Grosse and from photographers of Grosse. So with that, if we could all rise and sing the national anthem, and then the program will be over. Please enjoy yourself for the rest of the day and have more food because we have plenty. Shop in our gift shop and enjoy. And thank you again for coming. Okay, go for it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad